Hi guys! We are the Team Sakalam!
I'm Cliff Cabrera.
I'm Mary Abigail Gomez.
Geraldine Abogado, Mary Grace Salada,
Billion Balena.
Mary Almonte, Dean Salom,
Jason Caballo.
Yasmin Marvin Filio. Each one of us believe the different sayings about education.
And I believe that education's purpose is to replace an empty mind with an open one.
And I also believe that an investment of knowledge plays best interest.
And a wise person once said that live as if you were to die tomorrow and learn as if you were to live forever. And also I believe that teachers open the door but you must enter by yourself.
Also, I believe education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world.
And also, I believe the whole purpose of education to turn mirrors into windows. And the highest source of obligations is tolerance. I believe that not just I'm so smart, it's just I stay with the problem longer.
And I also believe that the cure of boredom is curiosity. And there is no cure for curiosity. You guys, we are going to show and discuss with you the different lessons that you will learn.
And you will learn many things about this video because it is educational.
And the video is entitled The Contract of Sale that we can use in our near future.
And it consists of different topics. And the different topics are, my topic is all about parties to a contract of sale. Next is the capacity of the parties.
And next is the absolute incapacity.
And our topic is all about relative incapacity.
And my topic is all about between common law spouses.
And my topic, who has the right to assess the validity of the transaction between spouses. So here we go!
Hi, I'm here to discuss about parties to a contract of sales. First, what is a contract of sales? A contract of sales is a contract or agreement wherein one party obligates themselves to deliver and transfer something to the other parties, who, on his part, obligate themselves to pay the price, muna si buyer or si seller. Seller one who sells and transfer the thing and ownership to the buyer. Then, si buyer one who buys the thing upon payment of the consideration agreed upon. So, kasi seller man siya, obligation niya to deliver and transfer ang order dito kang buyer. And si buyer, obligation niya nga mubayad, kaya nag-order man siya, obligation niya nga mubayad, kaya may ilang kasabutan. Then, who are the parties to a contract of sales? It involves two persons. For examples, si seller na maligya, din si buyer ni order. Kaya ni-order man si buyer, din si seller na maligya man siya. Therefore, the contract of sales is created between two persons, which is si buyer o si seller. So, si buyer o si seller, sila ang parties to a contract of sales. That's all.
My topic is about the capacity of the parties. Who may enter into a contract of sales? The person who can enter into a contract of sales are those person who has the capacity to enter into an obligation. For example, are the party sellers, party buyers. Party sellers, this person is the respective affiliates, former and future equity holders, while the party buyers, this person or this party agrees to acquire ownership in terms of goods, and in terms of services, they acquire benefits and usage. But there is an exemption when entering into a contract of sales. First, minors, insane, and demented person. So, insane is kanang mga buang, and demented person or kulang sa mga pangisip. Deaf, mutes who do not know how to write. So, mga bungol o mga ama nga dili kabalo unsaon pagsulat. Second is the person under a state of drunkenness or during hypnotic spell. So of course, you cannot contract the person who is under the influence of alcohol because they cannot act properly, they cannot act accordingly because they are driven by alcohol. Example, imong barkada is hubog, tapos gignan nimo nga, pre, na ako ka nang ibaligya dito nga yuta, pre, 500,000. So inanam siya nga, palitan na lang to, pre, na syempre kay kanang hubog baya, so dili sila bahot-bahot na, so dili na sila kanang makahuna-unang tanong, so moingon sila nga, sige pre, ako nang paliton. So kani siya, exemption ni siya, of course, because they cannot act properly because they are driven by alcohol, their minds are not sane. And third is husband and wife sail by and between spouses. So exemption to exemption, where necessaries are sold and delivered to a minor or other person without the capacity to act, he must pay a reasonable price therefore. So for example, you are seller of cigarettes and alcohol. So gibaligyaan nimo ang mga minor. So of course, they don't have the capacity to act. So gibaligyaan nimo ang minor og cigarettes and alcohol na kabalo ka nga kanang minor pa to sila, dili pa sila pwede maggamit na ng alcohol o kanang cigarettes. So ikaw ang manubag as a seller kay gibaligyaan man nimo sila imbis nga nakabalo ka nga kanang minor pa to sila, dili pa pwede. So murag ikaw may nakahatag og bad influence kay ang mga minor biya karon is pag na sila makita sa mga tiguwa nga inana oy ga sigarilyo ga inom, so murag curious sila ba kung unsay lami dana og unsay kuan mo na nga mopalit sila. So once nga mopalit sila pero kabalo ka nga minor sila, so dapat dili to nimo sila baligyaan kay minor pa baya. So ang ikaw as a seller maoy manubag kay gibaligyaan nimo nga kabalo ka nga kanang mga minors wala pa sila, they don't have the capacity to act. Next is in case of sale between spouses, separation of property was agreed upon on the marriage settlement. So kani siya kung sa marriage settlement na agreed na sa spouses or sa both parties nga kanang naa sila separation of sales. So of course kung magbaligi ang asawa or magbaligi ang bana, so dili na example magbaligi ang asawa, so ang bana dili na siya makapanghilabot kay sa marriage contract nila ilan ang gi-agreed nga kanang naa sila separation of properties in case kung magkabulag sila duha. So kung unsa may ibaligi adto nga property sa kanang asawa dili makapanghilabot ang bana, kung unsa po ibaligi ang property sa bana dili pud makapanghilabot ang iyang asawa kay nag-agreed naman sila na naman sila marriage settlement.
Good morning everyone. My topic was all about absolute incapacity. Absolute incapacity, it was all about a person that is incapable of joining a contract of sale. Those persons who cannot bind themselves because of some certain reasons, considering age, defective intellect, or mental capacity. Absolute incapacity talks about katong dili pa reliable or fit ang isa ka person ani nga contract. For example, person that is not on a legal age. For a reason na dili pa gid sila maka fully decide on his or her own, kailangan pa nila guide, or maybe someone who is really on a legal age with a proper knowledge about the contract that they're into. Ug isa ka type of person na also fit pod aning topic is katong katong person who is actually have a mental problem. Syempre, those person cannot think straight or make a decision on their own. Possible that they are not aware of what they are going to decide or unsa ang sulod ana nga contract kibali unsa siya about. Wala sila sa tarong nga pangutok para mo bind sa isa ka contract. Og lastly, isa sa qualify ani is ang deaf or mute, for the reason na siguro maglisod sila express on their own about sa ilang saloobin ani nga contract.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mylene Tirio, and my topic is all about relative incapacity. The question is, who are those relative incapacitated to enter into a contract of sale? And my answer is, the people who are relatively incapacitated to sell certain properties are spouses and the people that are connected to them, such as guardians, who taking good care of them, lawyers whom they entrust, and any people who are connected to the family. Spouses are prohibited to sell properties to each other, not unless on the day of their marriage that both agreed to have a separation of properties, which does not allow the couple to have an access to each other's properties. If the declaration of separation of properties has been legally agreed that a husband and wife does not have a conjoined properties, then the consideration of selling towards a spouse might be applicable. Example is, ako kasado, then akong bana na magbaligya o isa ka properties, din ang iyang baligyaan ako nga kuan iyang asawa, then dili na siya pwede kay mag-asawa man mi, then under sa article 4090 of the NCC, spouses cannot sell property to each other except kung sa amo kasal nag-declare mi nga sa pagminyo namo nga dili mi mag-share sa kada properties namo duha. Pwede na siya nga magkuan kanang pwede na ko niya baligyaan kanang declare man mi nga dili mi mag-share. Pero kung mismo sa kasal namo wala mi nag-declare ana nga kuan kana nga dili mi mag-share, then automatic na siya nga concerned properties na sa kada usag-usa na mo nga properties, then dili ko niya pwede baligyaan kay mao man na siya ang under sa mo ganang gitawag nga relative incapacity.
Then, that's all to you.
The first status of the following contract of sale is entered into minors, which is merely viewable, subject to annulment or ratifications. Ratifications means thus actions of signing or giving formal consent to a treaty consents or agreement, making it officials valid or pagpapatibay. Viewable contracts, one party can be bound by the contract terms while the other party has the right to change their mind. In other words, they can cancel the contract whenever they want. An example of a viewable contract is one involving a minor. Minor can enter into a contract, but they can also decide to breach the terms without a legal repercussion. So, kung ang minor pwede enter sa contract of sale, which is kung naa sila'y pinirmahan or gisabutan, mao nang gitawag na ratifications. Pero, kung ang minor gi-appeal sa enter of contract nga with kanang wala pa sila'y capacity or irresponsibility, wala pa sila sa legal age, na ay dakong responsibility ang seller sa minor. Kay nga nung iya mang gi-appeal sa enter of contract. Una ang seller maumoy nay dakong responsibility. Siya mas makabayad pa ang seller.
Good day everyone. I am Charlie A. Juanilio. I'm from Base Agribusiness, and today my topic was all about sale by and between spouses. Sale by and between spouses means the husband and the wife are prohibited from selling property to each other. So, kay prohibited man, bawal jud siya. Kay since kasal man mo, nanumpa man mo sa simbahan o sa balaod, nga kamo magpuyo sa usa ka balay. So, a sale between husband and wife in existence and void from the beginning, because such contracts is expressly prohibited by the law. So when we say null and void, it means that having no force, binding power, or validity. In case of sale between spouses, when a separation of property was agreed upon in the marriage settlements, or when there has been a judicial separation, a property agreed upon between them. So, a judicial separation is a formal separation which is sanctioned by the court. It is more than a couple deciding to live apart, and it is about more than just ratifying the separation. So, kung kamo kasado, unya nag-ipon na mo sa isa ka balay, tapos naamoy napundar ng mga butang like motor, sakyanan, or sa baka inyong napundar nga kamuduha nagtinabangay para mapalit nga gamit. So, kung inyo to ibaligya nga mga gamit nga napundar ninyo, ang halin is tag 50-50 mo. So, tunga para walay gansi. And everything nga inyo ibaligya or everything nga inyong napundar nga inyo ibaligya, dapat 50-50 yun mo para walay gansi. O kung unsa man galing inyong nauyunan, kamo na magsabot para walay gubot sa inyong mag-iayon. So there are reasons why you have to deal with it. It is to prevent defrauding creditors. So, mo to kung gina, dapat kung magbaligya man galing mo, dapat 50-50 para walay kwintahay. And avoid situation where dominant spouse takes advantage over the weaker spouse. And avoid circumvention and privation of donation between spouses. So, kung namoy dili gusto nga kuan, kanang dili ninyo gusto nga ibaligya, nga gusto ninyo nga inyo harato, so dapat ang katunga dito inyo bakang pabayaran sa inyong kaipon or sa imong asawa or bana para walay gubot, walay kanang kwenta para equal mo duha. That's all. Thank you.
Contract of sale with third parties. Under the law on sales, it would seem that the spouse may, without the consent of the other spouse, enter into sales transaction in the regular or normal pursuit of their profession, vocation, or trade. Kini siya nagpasabot nga kung ang asawa or banan bot sa ila na ay katigayunan nga baligya, pero iya kini kaugalingon tungod sa iyang example may negosyo ang asawa din nagbulag sila sa iyang bana, pwede ra ibligi sa asawa katong property nga pwede nang walay pagtugot sa bana. Kay in addition with Article 73 Family Code, either spouse may exercise any legitimate profession, occupation, business, or activity without the consent of other. Pwede na siya nga wala na'y consent sa uban kung iyan ni kaugalingon nga butang, iyang kaugalingon nga business. Ang iyang exemption, even when the property regime prevailing was the conjugal partnership of gains, the Supreme Court held the sale by the husband of the conjugal property without the consent of the wife is void. Ang iyang exemption, okay ra kung ilagi duhang property nya ang sa ilagi duhang mag-asawa, kung walay consent sa wife dili siya pwede, walay mahimo. Not merely voidable under Article 1 to 4 of the Family Code, since the resulting contract lacked one of the essential elements of full consent. Article 124, the administration and enjoyment of the conjugal partnership shall belong to both spouses jointly. Ang exemption ano niya is muni siya ang exemption kay dili man siya joint man gid ang tagiya nga property ilam duha, dili pwede nga magbaligya ang between sa ila duha kung walay consent sa husband or wife. And that's all. Thank you.
Sinusuyod ang buong mundo para hanapin ka. Nilibot ang distrito ng iyong lumbay, pupulutin ka. Sinusundo kita,
nagbigay ng kulay sa aking mundo. Sana ay panghabang buhay na ito. Ikaw ang binibini na ninanais ko. Binibining marikit na dalangin ko. Ikaw ang nagbigay ng kulay sa aking mundo. Sana ay panghabang buhay na ito.
Pinipili ko, ikaw ang nais ko na makapiling sa buong buhay ko. Na mapapanaginip,
La la la,
di ko alam bakit ako ay nabilitanig sa tuwing ikaw ay napapalaan. Ang buhay
binibini, binibini, binibini marikit na dalangin ko. Ikaw ang binibini na ninanais ko. Binibining marikit na dalangin ko. Ikaw ang nagbigay ng kulay sa aking mundo. Sana ay panghabang buhay na ito.
Good day everyone. My topic is also about between common law spouse. In this law, when there was a separation between spouses, they should have a proper agreement when it comes to their own property. Example, kung ang bana og asawa naa sila'y kaugalingon yuta or naa sila'y kaugalingon balay, and then nagbulag sila, tapos ang example ang bana plano siya nga ibaligya ang yuta or ang balay without consent sa iyang asawa, dili na siya pwede. Dapat naa sila'y proper agreement duha nga ibaligya ang balay ug yuta. Dili pwede nga ang bana lang ang gusto tapos ang asawa dili. Kung ibaligya man gani nila ang balay o ang ilang yuta nga ilang kaugalingon nga property, naa sa ilang ngalan ang duha, sa ilang yuta o balay sa ang tag-iyada na is ilang duha ngalan, dapat kung ibaligya sa isa ka spouse ang yuta or balay, dapat na proper consent sa isa ka spouse. Dili dapat magbuot-buot ang isa ka spouse nga mabaligya sa balay ug yuta kung wala ang pagtugot sa isa. Dapat naa sila'y proper agreement. Kung wala sila'y proper agreement duha, na nagpataka lang ang isa ka spouse pagbaligya sa balay o yuta, ang gatong isa ka spouse, pwede niya isumbong ang gato iyang partner. Nganong iyang gibaligya ang gatong iyang balay ug yuta without sa iyang consent. So, mao ni ang pasabot ani nga topic between common law spouse.
My topic is all about who has the right to assail the validity of transaction between spouses. The person who has the right to question the validity of contract, ang mga heirs or ang iyang mga anak or tagapagmana, which is nga kung magbaligya ang ilang ginikanan sa ilang property, pwede na i-question sa ilang mga anak once nga mag-separate ang ilang ginikanan. Kailangan ibahin-bahin jud na siya sa tagapagmana. So, after sa transaction sa pagbaligya sa property, so katong gibaligyaan, mao na dayon to ang nay full responsibilities sa pagbayad sa taxes.
So let's move on to another topic of relative incapacity. So who are the persons involved with relative incapacity to be the vendee in the contract of sale? So we have here the acronym, which is AGCAP, which means A for agent, G for guardian, E for executors and administrators, C for court officers and employees, O for others, especially disqualified by law, and P is for public officers and employees. So, for agents, the properties involved are the property entrusted to them for administration or sale. So, agents have the potential to represent themselves as the buyer or seller in a real estate of sale. So, or when the principal give his or her consent. For guardian, the properties involved are the property of the ward during proper period of guardianship. So when we say guardianship, it is a legal process used to protect individuals who are unable to care for their own well-being due to infancy, incapacity, or disability. Note that in guardian, contracts entered by guardian in behalf of ward are rescissible. So when we say rescissible, it is one that was entered into legally by the contracting parties but has resulted in economic damage to one of the parties or an outside party. So for executors and administrators, the properties involved are the property of the state under administration. So it is their duty to gather all of the assets of the estate, pay the debts, and distribute the assets to the beneficiaries in accordance with the will of the law of intestate succession. For court officers and employees, the properties involved are the properties and rights in litigation are levied upon an execution before the court under their jurisdiction. And for public officers and employees, the properties involved are the property of the state entrusted to them for administration. So both agents, guardian, executors, and administrators are voidable. So with a voidable contract, it doesn't become invalid until one party asserts a legal reason for canceling it. So this means without one party raising a legal objection, the contract would remain valid. So court officers and employees, others especially disqualified by law, public officers, their status of sale are void. So when we say void, the contracts that are void means they cannot be enforced by either party. Essentially, it's a contract that is no longer able to be used, and the courts will look at it like there was never a contract to begin with. So the difference between voidable and void contract is that voidable contract, one party can be bound by the contract terms, while the other party has the right to change their mind. So in other words, they can cancel the contract whenever they want. An example of voidable contract is one involving a minor. So minors can enter into contracts, but they can also decide to breach the terms without legal repercussions. So while in a void contract, it's invalid from the very start. It doesn't require one party to back out, challenge its validity. In this case, neither party can enforce a void contract since it's viewed as true the contract never existed. So agents, guardians, executors, and administrators for ratification is they can be ratified after the inhibition has ceased. So reason, the only wrong that subsists is the private wrong to the word principal or state and can be condoned by the private parties themselves, while court officers, others, and public officers, their ratification cannot be ratified. Reason, it is a private wrong.
so much and see you again. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
So I hope you have learned something, guys. Bye! Thank you for watching!
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Goodbye and thank you everyone. See you in our next video. Bye.
Thank you for watching.
That's all, everyone. Thank you for watching. Hope you've learned a lot. Bye!
Thank you for watching!
And each of us believe about the different sayings of education.
And I believe that education is an open... Sorry.
And each one of us believe the different sayings about education.
And I believe that education's purpose is to replace an empty mind with an open one.
And I also believe that an investment of knowledge plays best interest.
And a wise person once said that live as if you were to die tomorrow and learn as if you were to live forever.
And also, I believe that teachers open the door, but you must enter by yourself.
Also, I believe education is the most powerful weapon which we can use to change the world.
And also, I believe the whole purpose of it
Like I'm so skitty, 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 skitty.